when you're like on the stage performing or like giving that speech, do you have like a nervous, I don't want to call it like a tick, but like I think that's the appropriate word for it.
Yeah.
Like what is your, like, do you have a physical nervous tick, or do you have like a sound you
I
make, or like
do.
yeah?
I do.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Is that it?
that's it.
What? No
I
way.
start with the awkwardness. And
Okay.
everyone's like, what was that? I'm like, okay, cool. And then it's kind of like a barrier block, like a breakdown. It's just like, I do that, or I'll be like, okay, so, or I start off with like, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready, but just be really dramatic.
Oh, okay.
Just to just to take the pressure off of me that I'm going to be this dramatic, but I probably won't be that dramatic. I'm going to
Okay.
break it down to like seriousness.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like for me, it's like a flare gun.
I was gonna say you're like a firework.
Yeah.
I was totally gonna say that.
Like a flare gun, just
Yeah.
setting it off. I'm like, here we go. Ready to go. Pay attention. Here we go. Boom. And then once I got everyone's undivided attention, it's just like, okay, let me lighten this whole mood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that you just like explode in order to let out all that pent up energy that you've had throughout the day.
Yep.
Man, I don't know if I'm a firework. I think I'm a ticking time bomb. Because, like,
man.
it depends on the moment in the scenario. Because sometimes I will explode a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my nervousness, like, especially when I'm on stage, is that I always can feel like my foot or my leg shaking.
Yeah.
And I even, like, when I did the 15-minute musical showcase, I was wondering if people could see my foot or my ankle shaking. Because there were times in the show that, like, I clocked it was happening, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how to fix this, but I'm just gonna leave it and hope no one can see it. But no one mentioned it, so, and usually people don't like run up to you and are like, oh my god, your foot was shaking,
What about at LACC when you performed?
I actually have that written down as like
Yeah?
one of my like moments of not quite stage fright.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was the strangest thing because to back everybody up, I mean, you know this story. I've told you a million times. And if you're a regular Delulu listener, you've probably heard me tell the story. But my music got switched out like so last minute. And I had a whole dance routine. I had a whole thing. And I found out that the version that they were going to give me was like twice as long. And it wasn't just like, oh, sing words here, here, and here. It's score from a movie in between the singing. So if you guys have seen Shrek, I think it's the second one with the fairy godmother.
Yeah.
And she sings I Need a Hero. There's tons of score because Shrek is like riding his horse through the castle, and then there's a giant gingerbread man, and it's a whole thing.
I think it was the second one. I've only seen those movies like once.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the second one. But I knew like right before I was going on stage, I had all day at my booth to kind of figure out like, what's my backup plan? Like, what am I going to do? Like, when the music's playing, and how am I going to overcome this? And all of a sudden it was like, bam, I'm backstage and I'm going on in 3 seconds. And I literally remember standing there just being like, at this point, I don't give a damn. I'm just going to go up there and have fun. And I wasn't nervous at all. It was the weirdest thing. And I was like, I don't know. I'm just going to fake it and hope it looks good.
Right?
And it felt like it looked good. I mean, I haven't watched the whole performance, if I'm being honest, because I'm too critical of myself. So normally, if I do a really good job, like with the 15-minute musicals, I watched the whole thing through and through because I was like, good job, me, you worked hard for this. But that performance, because I knew that I was given, like I was dealt the wrong hand of cards, so to speak, because everything was so last minute, I definitely, in my mind, I'm like, I did that. I did the best I could. I don't need to rewatch it and relive it. Like, I'm good.
I feel you. It's kind of like drafts on TikToks. You know what?
Ooh.
That's horrible. I don't need to relive that.
Yeah.
Delete.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Or I'll just leave them to die in the draft folder. I'm just like, bye. Bye. See you later. You're never going to see the light of day. I have so many drafts.
Really?
I have like 96.
Shut up.
It's bad.
Wow.
I have a problem.
Oh my god.
I have so many. But the problem is that I'm excited about making the content in the moment, and then the audio is no longer popular.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, I can't post this now.